Shalom. Kol halal Yahweh Shemi Shabbat Shemar Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yashawan back with a quick war update. All right. And we, hey, just keep abreast. This thing is popping. Okay. The small hats are doing their thing. All right. And the Carmanians are doing their thing. All right. They're coming out with many chariots right now. All right, so this is Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai said, be patient. Okay. Let me go back real quick. 7. I said, surely thou wilt fear me, thou wilt receive instruction. Okay? Hey, receive this instruction. What's the instruction? Jump down. Therefore, wait ye upon me until the day that I rise up to the prey. Okay? For my determination is to gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. What are your instructions? To be patient and endure until the end. Okay? And let the Most High do His thing. All right? What's His thing? His determination. What is His determination? To gather the nations. So He could do what? So He could pour upon them His indignation, right? Righteous anger, righteous hatred, even all my fierce anger. All right? He can put on them the fire of His jealousy. What? You done messed with the apple of His eye. All right? So let's see what's going on here. Let's go to the Secret Files. Secret Files channel. Let's start right here. A couple of days ago. Israel. Russian submarines armed with cruise missiles. Let's find out what this is.
We're giving away a one.
You know how this goes. Commercial. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, this is Secret Files 333, May 7th. Russian submarines armed with cruise missiles guard Iranian ships, or Iranian. Okay. These are the Carmanians and their chariots. This is a sea chariot. Who's guarding them? Russian subs. Okay? These are allies. The Medes and the Persians. Where are they at? Right here. The Persians and the Medes. The Medo-Persian, the ancient Medo-Persian Empire coming together again. All right? And Russian meaning USSR. The old Medes. Okay? With that hook. Them hooks in their jaw. All right? So let's watch this. I'm going to watch a couple of these just to update on where things are.
Russian submarines armed with cruise missiles guard Iranian ships. Sources from the Israeli Ministry of Defense claim that according to the data provided to them, Russian submarines are escorting Iranian ships into the waters of the Mediterranean Sea. According to Tel Aviv, Iranian tankers crossing Mediterranean waters move quite calmly, knowing that the Russian Navy guarantees their safety by sending submarines armed with cruise missiles.
That's one side of the war. And Netanyahu, not a Jew, is worried, as well he should be, because they know they can't take down this bear. They can't take the bear down on their own. They need assistance from who? Babylon the Great. So what are they going to do? What is Netanyahu going to do? He's going to force the hand of Babylon the Great. He's going to draw them out.
This information was also confirmed by several Russian media. Initially, they claimed that Russia was escorting only through its warships in the area, but
the weapons of his indignation. All right? Here's how close we are to the end, folks. All right? They firing on each other. Russians are escorting. All right? If you blow up the Persians' ships, you're gonna drag the Medes in. All right? And they got nukes, hella nukes, and you know that.
after a statement from the Israeli military, they also confirmed the news. Israel is entirely helpless in its attempts to block the trade route by water between Iran and Syria, and this worries Tel Aviv because, according to them, 90% of the tankers are full of oil and the remaining 10% of weapons. Iranian military experts have commented that Russian submarines and frigates escorting valuable cargo armed with Caliber cruise missiles. The Russians have repeatedly confirmed the use of caliber fired from the Mediterranean, mainly at jihadist positions in northern Syria. In this case, according to Iranian experts, Israel is cautious. It does not carry out sea movements when the guard of the Iranian water convoy is under the protection of Moscow. According to unconfirmed information, Israel has satellite images showing at least 2 Russian submarines near Iranian ships off the coast of Syria. However, it is assuming that their number may be higher.
So that's a guard. They shall be a guard unto them. Okay? Let's get that. Let's get that real quick. See if I can find this. I think this is it. Yep, it's got to be. Okay, this is 38 and 7. Okay, so let's see. All right. Let's start where? Let's just start at the top. Ezekiel 38. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. All right? That's talking about the old Soviet Union. And I'll bring thee forth, and all thine armies and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Okay, so that's talking about the Medes. Okay. Persia. Who's that? That's the Persia. That's Iran. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. That's the Hamites. All of them with shield and buckler. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah, the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with this talk about the alliance. Okay? Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay? Be a guard unto them. That's what we see right here. What does this say? Russian submarines armed with cruise missiles do what? Guard the Persians. Okay? So we're watching the prophecies come to pass, jumping off the page. All right, let's watch another one. Okay, because they about to start striking each other. All right. Israel strikes what? This is 2 days ago. After, okay, they're out there guarding. You're about to make these Medes mad. Israel strikes Iranian oil tanker bound for Syria. Look at it.
Don't miss out on Floor in the Course.
Here we go.
Israel strikes Iranian oil tankers bound for Syria.
Boom, it's on. They're out there fighting. This is World War III. Okay, get it? If they're striking these ships and they got nuclear subs out there guarding them, what is about to happen? We see the least of the flock drawing them out. Okay?
The Israeli army has been striking Iranian oil tankers and other vessels bound for Syria for months, the Wall Street Journal reports, citing U.S.
For months.
Middle Eastern officials. The motivation for the attacks has been that oil profits help fund extremism in the Middle East, according to the report. Iran has been a regular supplier of oil to Syria amid sanctions against both countries from the U.S. in Iran's case, and from the U.S. and Europe in Syria's case. Syria, however, has been a relatively minor export destination for Iranian oil.
Embargo, sanctions, this is all part of war, right? Asymmetric war. You need to refuel. You need fuel to conduct a war campaign, all right? You need logistics, you need supplies, you need food, you need energy, all right? Those frigates, those carriers, they need to be refueled, all right?
China, on the other hand, has been gobbling it up despite
On the other hand, okay,
the sanctions. Recently, Iran began ramping up its oil production and exports, especially to China, hoping that the new U.S. administration will lift sanctions. This month, Iranian oil shipments to the province of Shandong, the home of most of China's independent refiners, have increased so much they are causing port congestion, Bloomberg reported earlier this week, citing traders and analysts. Iranian oil sells at a deep discount because of the U.S. sanctions, which makes it highly desirable by Chinese refiners looking for a bargain. In fact, Iranian oil exports to China could this month jump to over 850,000 BPD.
and this devil is just poisoning the earth with his ridiculous tactics.
According to a Plur analyst cited by Bloomberg. Iran's oil production rose by 35,000.
Did you see that alliance right there? This alliance. This is an alliance.
Cited by
That. Iran, the Carmanians, the Persians, Moab over here. All right? This same guy is shaking hands with Vladimir. All right? This is World War III, folks. It's going down.
According to a Plur analyst cited by Bloomberg. Iran's oil production rose by 35,000 BPD in February, according to the latest monthly oil market report by OPEC. Fitch Solutions recently forecast that exports of crude could rise by 6.8% this year if the United States rejoins the so-called Iran nuclear deal. By 2022, exports could double compared with 2020 levels, the agency also said, if sanctions are lifted.
Okay, so you can clearly see there's a war going on. Not a riot, a straight up war. All right, let's get some more. Russian fighter jet intercepts U.S. aircraft amid tension. That's a different part of the war. See, letting you know that there's a proxy war going on, but these are allies. Iran is the ally of Russia. Babylon the Great is the ally of the least of the flock, the Amalekites, over there in our land. Okay? All right, but we're not going to that. We're going to this. Iran attacks second Israeli car carrier. All right? So they're going back and forth. All right? Israel strikes Iran oil tanker. Iran attacks Israeli car carrier. Okay, let's check this out, and then we'll get some precept.
At Untitled Chapter.
All right, just letting you know, hey, and this was May. This is today, May 10th. All right, what we got? The war's going down.
Iran attacks second Israeli car carrier. On Tuesday, the Israeli-owned car carrier Hyperion Ray was hit by a missile attack off the coast of Fujairah, according to Lebanese news outlet Al Mayadeen. Israeli defense officials confirmed the attack to Haaretz and blamed Iran for the incident. The attack is the second to strike an Israeli-owned PCTC in recent months, following the Limpet mine attack on the Helios Ray in February.
That's limpet, that's limpet, that's limpet. Remember that? All right. What was it called? The Incredible Mr. Limpet?
In that incident, the vessel was struck and damaged above the waterline on both the port and starboard sides. The attack was widely attributed to Iranian forces. Helios Ray is owned and operated by the same companies as Hyperion Ray. The attack on Hyperion Ray also follows immediately after an explosion at Iran's Natanz nuclear enrichment and research facility.
Natanz, which was bombed by Israel, right? They're over there building nukes, and to stop their momentum, Israel. See, this war is going down in everybody's face. Now, how come they're not pushing this on the mainstream news outlets, CNN, Fox? How come they're not telling you that World War III is in full swing? You got to go to a little channel like this where they're bringing out everything on the hour as it's going to. This is going down. This was created today. What is it, an hour old?
An action which has been widely attributed to Israeli forces. The attack on Sunday took out electrical power systems at the facility, Iran confirmed, but did not harm personnel.
Live fire World War III is going down right now, and people don't even consider. You understand? This is how close we are to the end of this thing. All right? In the middle of this war, Yahushua and the angels are coming back. Oh, Jesus is going to crack them clouds. Okay? That's where this thing is. That's how close we are to seeing a sky full of chariots and the war in heaven. All right?
Israel's government has not imposed a media blackout on domestic reporting about the Natanz attack in unusual lapse, and on background, multiple Israeli defense officials have told news outlets that Mossad carried out the action. Officially, Israel has neither confirmed nor denied responsibility. Iran's foreign ministry has formally accused Israel of carrying out the Natanz strike, and it has vowed to take retaliatory action. Iran reserves the right to give the proper response to the Zionist regime's act of sabotage in Natanz nuclear facility in right time and right place.
Okay, so the point is, again and again, we're in the middle of the World War III. All right? In the middle of that war, okay, what's going to happen? Well, let's find out. All right? And then we'll go ahead and close it up. All right? Let's just read from the top. This is 2nd Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. That man is talking about Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Okay? And he was with the angels, with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. So he was flying. And when it says when he turned his countenance, it's talking about his spacecraft. Okay? Because there's going to be a war in heaven, meaning in the sky. Satan and his angels are going to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels, the thousands of heaven. Okay? All right, now it's going to describe the war chariot that Yahweh Shai is flying up upon. All right? It's going to describe it as she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Because that's what that song is about. It's about this mountain that Yahweh Shai is flying up on. All right? 2nd Ezra 13:4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. That's talking about a laser beam coming out of the war chariot. Okay? The voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Well, what voice burned? Laser, concentrated fire. Like as the earth faileth when it feeleth what? The laser beam. Okay? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. This great multitude of men is talking about those people fighting against each other in World War III. What we just went through right here. Okay? Whatever this is right here, all of these men are going to stop fighting each other like they're doing right now and turn around and try to fight against the angels and Yahweh Shai, whom you ignorantly called Jesus. All right? To let you know how close we are to that war in heaven. The war is already going down. World War III is already going down. All right? So let's track it. All right? But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, meaning he had cut out a mountain out of the mountain range. He graved it. But I beheld him, and he said, I was looking, and it looked like he cut a mountain out of the mountain ranges and flew up upon it. How do you fly up upon a mountain? He was describing the war chariot that was shooting laser beams and burning shit up. Okay? But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I couldn't. He looked around and said, well, where did he cut that mountain out? I don't see no great mountain cut out of the mountain ranges that are around me. He was astonished at how big the chariot was. Okay? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So all of the people fighting against each other in World War III, okay, you got China, Iran, and the Russians on one side. You got Israel, the United States, and the United Kingdom on the other side, fighting against each other. They looked up and they said, oh shit, we got to come together and fight against this force that's about to take us all down, that they full well know about, and they are completely afraid against that heavenly host. But they're going to give it a go anyway. And yet durst fight. They were sore afraid, but fought anyway. Why? The Most High put the Spirit on them to fight anyway. All right? Then it goes on, and it talks about how the chariots can't be stopped, right? And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks. Now, this is talking about the weapon systems on the chariots that the angels and Yahushua have on their war chariots. All right? Now, let's go down. We're going to jump down to here we're going to jump down to 33. All right. Start at 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending on that mountain, flying up upon it. All right. And when all the people hear his voice, see that them lasers, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against. This is talking about World War III is going to be going on. When they see the angels and Yahushua come back in them chariots, they're going to, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. They're going to stop fighting. They're going to put World War III on hold for a minute and try to fight against the heavenly host. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. All of this is talking about World War III. All right? Now, letting you know where we're at. Where are we at? We're in World War III. So very soon, the angels are coming. How do we know that? It's Revelation 12 and 7. And there was a war in heaven. All right? World War III is going to be put on hold. And what's going to happen? Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Well, who's the dragon? All right? The beast. All right? Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought at his angels and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Okay? So they got their ass whooped, basically. Okay? NATO and the EU, right? And these other nations that came together to fight against Michael and the angel basically got their ass whooped. All right? So when this happens, it's going to happen during World War III. Okay? It's going to happen during World War III. Well, what's going on right now? World War III. Okay? World War III is going down now. They're just not noising it abroad. This is how close we are to seeing the angels in Yahushua come back. And right when they do come back, and after they destroy these armies, that's when they're going to launch their missiles. That's when we're going to be delivered. All right, so that's the good news. So hang in there, brothers. We're almost out of here. All right, so with that, I hope that the elect were edified. We're going to keep these little updates going, right, to let you know how close we are. That falls under being on your watch. Okay, measuring the time diligently. Second Ezra 9 and 1, and he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world, which Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to crack them clouds. Measure the time diligently every day. All right? So that's what we're going to do. So with that, I hope that the elect were edified. And with that, we're going to say shalom until tomorrow.